Former governor of Delta State, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, had said that those behind the allegation that he misappropriated 1.3 trillion naira oil derivation funds while in office were driven by mundane political considerations. He said he was not worried by his invitation from the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, noting that he was confident that he would come out clean, serve Delta's well as governor. Okowa spoke when he received the leadership of the Urhobo Progress Union, UPU, at his residence in Asaba. He said it was a petition written several months ago, but unfortunately, with the politics of our time, some people decided to ensure that Okowa must be invited by EFCC. People are genuinely uncomfortable about Okowa, and I was actually invited, and I went there by myself, and the first thing I saw was that they said I misappropriated 1.3 trillion naira. And I said, do you know the kind of money you are talking about? To successfully take 1.3 trillion, it means you have to be taking between 16 billion and 20 billion every month into your pockets. I don't even know if the president of this country will be able to do that, not to talk of the governor of the state. Personally, I am not against investigation because the EFCC has to do its job. And I know that I have done everything how it ought to be done. For every allegation, they will investigate. And when they have found the truth, they will stop. But for those who sent a wrong communication, it is rather unfortunate, he said. I pray for them because when you allow yourself to be used as a tool, when the evil starts to come, the impact will be so much. But I pray that God will forgive them. These were the words of the former governor of Delta State. I would like to get your thoughts on this, quote, Mr. Walker.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right. I think that Okowa won't be the first. In this country, the greatest challenge that we have is not that you don't have an anti-graft organization that should do its job. But the challenge that we do really have is that you are put on trial in the media too early. And at the end of the day, after all the fields, remember the issue of the former governor of Kogi State, for example. They will come up and say they found nothing, you know. But it sounds very strange if, honestly, Okowa could run away with trillions of naira. It sounds so amazing, you know, but it shows you what happens when you're in public office in Nigeria. The fact that, of course, corruption has built a house in the system. The fact that cynics think that perhaps, regardless of whatever good job you do, that you probably ended up stealing, you know, and I'm very certain that since he was detained and also obviously released on bail, there will be sufficient time during the investigation to come to terms with what really happened.
So do you feel that, like he stated, do you feel that there are people that actually did this petition against him and wanted to bring his name on the black book?
When I was in the civil service, I was told that if you are not petitioned, you have not grown in the service. So, of course, there are people who want to be seen as whistleblowers. People who probably have a grudge against the man. Somehow, too, people who genuinely think that people should be called to account. Okay. You know, because we are talking increasingly about transparency in service. So, all of these factors put together, and of course there will be political opponents. Okay,
I'll hold the thought on that. Mr. Bill, I would like to know, why do you think this petition was not was not done while he was in office? Why do you think they had to wait until after he left office to, you know, bring this into book?
Of course, For a sitting governor is covered by immunity. He is not allowed to go through the process of criminal law while in office. But when he has left office, he is like any other person in the society, like other citizens. So, my thought is, even if the petition had come when he was in office, it would at best be more or less making a noise. Maybe if it to put some scandals on him, and at the end of the day, it will only be fully attended to when he has left office.
So you're saying, in essence, that because of the immunity he has at the point in office, laws cannot be passed. He cannot be held accountable for anything that he has done against the law.
Not that he cannot be held accountable, but to make it straight, this is how it is. For a sitting governor and a sitting president, let's limit it to Nigeria.
Okay.
They are covered by presidential immunity, or what do you call it? The immunity that covers the governor, and that is constitutional. He cannot be tried in a court of law for a criminal offense as at that time that he is the sitting governor or he is the sitting president. But from the day he has left, from the point, in fact, from that minute he leaves office, if there is a petition against him, he can be taken right after handing over.
Okay. Mr. Comrade Oscar, do you think that most times individuals contest for a particular position in office, they would have this in mind that, okay, if I get into office, on a thought, do you think, because he's talking about immunity, when you're in office, you can, it's more like you can do whatever and get away with it at that time. Do you think that some people have this at the back of their mind as, okay, if I get into office, I'll do so whatever I want to do at that time and I won't be caught by the law? You know, what is your thought about this? Do you think this is supposed to be like a more, a reasonable thought? Do you think this is supposed to be, do you agree with what he said?
First, we have a failed system in this country. We have a failed system in this part of the world, and that's why a lot of things seems to go free, or a lot of people go scot-free when they are held responsible for a particular misconduct or misappropriation of fund. EFCC itself, we also don't have confidence even in the EFCC. So we inviting him, or EFCC inviting him. EFCC right now has been seen as an institution used to fight those against a power or those not in power. EFCC is actually not performing its rightful or constitutional duties. And that's our first point of dissatisfaction. A lot of institutions currently in Nigeria is not meeting up its situation or constitutional purpose.
Why do you think that?
A lot of them are actually becoming so political, and they are being answerable to a president, and they keep on doing their particular bidding, just to suit a particular administration. Going by that, before now, we are supposed to have our dates, they say, that speak for us. So if we have a situation or security check on every citizen of this country, there must always be a profiling before you emerge or before you come out to contest a particular position and stand the chance to be disqualified or qualified from the screening. There was a screening process. There was a stage where you have to actually declare your assets. So that means before you became or you have public office, you must have declared your assets. You must only declare your assets, but you can as well try the best you can to ensure that the screening process that you actually embarked on was a successful one, without interference of political interest, without interference of the president, without the interference of any political concern. But in this part of the world, it is not the same. It is not just that way.
Okay,
because
so
if Okowa is actually, as we speak, if he has confidence that he has a good relationship with Mr. President, believe me, EFCC or no EFCC, he will go scot-free.
So are you trying to say, in your opinion, are you trying to say that these allegations could be true, but he would get away with it because he has a relationship?
Is there any politician? Is there any government?
There is nobody above the law. Nobody is above the law. Yes, nobody is above the law. He actually got invited by the EFCC for questioning. If they wanted it to go, okay, like you said, if he had a relationship with the president, he can go away. If they wanted it to go, they would have let the case slide. But he got invited by the EFCC for questioning.
Now, this is normally what they call formality. Fortunately, I have a legislature seated beside me here. I think this is what is known to be a formality. In this part of the world, or in this context, what we have seen right now is just a formality purpose. Obviously, most times, a lot of situations that we have today, I have seen cases where EFCC go after only those that are not part of a particular system, or those against a particular system. So my message is just simple to the EFCC, not to Okowa.
So you're saying the EFCC should go straight to the point?
EFCC should regain this lost glory by ensuring, because as we speak, EFCC is actually gradually failing out. It's actually losing its glory because it's now being used as an umpire or as an institution.
Okay, I'll hold your thoughts on that. I'll hold your thoughts on that, Comrade Oscar. Chief Woke, I want to ask, on your own opinion, he's saying that you need to have a relationship with a particular body to not to get caught by the law. I will hold his thoughts on that. And then secondly, I would want to ask, like I said, nobody's above the law. Nobody, big, small, your class, middle, high, and low. Do you agree that yes, it's actually a thoughtful thing, like you said?
I think the first thing is to address the issue you put forward to him, arising from the comment of the gentleman on the other side, where he spoke clearly about the constitutional provisions that dwell on immunity. Now, honestly speaking, that's the position of the law. And if you are looking at what has happened transparently in the United States, where Trump has been facing a lot of accusations, now that he has won and become president, all of those allegations are gone for now.
So why do you think, that's why I asked him a question.
So now, if you are not in a hurry, then I will go ahead. I think that, yes, we have a situation in this country where a lot of people have lost faith in the country. And it is not on account of a particular government. It's a trajectory of travel, a long way, and not much results have come out of it. So there are people who feel, even when good deeds have been done, that they're not sufficient. Now, but what's the way forward? As people who must learn to invest confidence. Part of the problem is the investigative approach of the EFCC. That's why I said in the beginning that you have an anti-graft commission trying to investigate you. And the first thing you hear is the media angle. Now, when they get to court, you find that most of the investigation they ought to have done, there are serious gaps. Now, if those gaps exist, I don't want to agree that the EFCC has lost its glory. There have been so many things that the EFCC has recovered. So much funds that EFCC has recovered, properties that have been seized, plea bargains that have been entered into. All of these things are aspects of the law. And yes, we want the EFCC to do some more. And I think that's what it should be.